Hello and welcome to Confidence After Cancer. I'm Gabrielle Mottershead, cancer recovery coach, breast cancer survivor, and creator of the Powerfully You programme. Before we begin, if you're struggling with confidence, anxiety, identity changes, or finding your way in any way after cancer treatment ends, I'd love to support you. You can book a free confidence clarity call with me using the link in the show notes. Now, let's talk about something that many cancer survivors experience but don't always talk about openly, and that is the fear of cancer recurrence. That quiet voice that suddenly appears when you feel a pain or a little ache or a little twinge, or it can be when you're waiting for scan results. It can be when somebody that you know receives a diagnosis. It can be when somebody you don't know, quite often it's somebody in the public eye, and all of a sudden it's all over social media, it's all in the news, that somebody quite famous is not immune to cancer and they've got a diagnosis as well. And when your annual checkup comes around, that can be a stressful time as well, or sometimes for absolutely no reason at all, even years after treatment ends. And as I record this episode, I am very fortunate. It's over 18 years since my diagnosis of inflammatory breast cancer. And I can tell you honestly, that fear never completely disappears, but it can become much smaller, much quieter, much less powerful than it used to be. And so today's episode is all about understanding that fear and learning how to stop it ruining your life or running your life or running on a constant loop inside your head. Because this is the fear that nobody expects. One of the biggest surprises for many people after cancer treatment is discovering that actually finishing treatment doesn't automatically create peace of mind. Many people think, oh, when treatment ends, I will feel better. When the scans are clear, I can relax then. Or maybe when I reach 5 years, 5 years after diagnosis, then I can stop worrying. But often that's not what happens, because treatment gives you a sense that something is being done. You've got appointments, you've got scans, consultants, blood tests, support, monitoring, and then suddenly treatment finishes and you're expected to go back to normal life. Yet the possibility of recurrence feels so very real. You know more about cancer than you ever wanted to know. You can understand that life can change overnight, and that awareness can feel frightening. And if this is you, you are not alone. Because if you've ever Googled symptoms at 2 a.m., if you've ever felt panic before a scan, if you have ever interpreted every ache and pain as cancer marching through your body again, if you have avoided making future plans, felt anxious before annual checkups, or maybe become hyper aware of your body, please know this: you are not failing. You are not failing. You are not weak. You have a very human response to a life-changing experience. And many survivors find themselves living in a constant state of constant vigilance, always looking for danger, always scanning for signs, always waiting for the next problem. And the challenge is that eventually that fear starts stealing you of the life that you fought so hard to keep. When the fear itself is not the problem, because fear is designed to protect us. It's your body's very clever way of keeping you safe. The problem comes when fear becomes the driver of every decision that you make. When you stop travelling, when you stop planning, when you stop saying yes to things, when you stop dreaming, when you stop living the life you want to live, because you are waiting to find out whether cancer might return. And I see this so often with the women I support privately. They've completed their treatment, they're physically recovering, but emotionally, they're still living as if cancer is controlling every day. And often they don't even realise it. There isn't a magic solution, but there are things that have helped me over the years. Number one, bringing myself back to today. Not 5 years from now, not next year's scan, not a hypothetical future, but today, because today is where life is actually happening. Number two, things that help me is accepting uncertainty. And this is difficult. None of us can guarantee what tomorrow will bring. And cancer survivors simply become more aware of that truth more than anybody else. And number three, things that help me is building a life bigger and better than cancer. A life with goals, purpose, relationships, travel, experiences, growth, a life filled with joy. The more meaningful your life becomes, the less space there is for fear to occupy. Think about that. Number four is learning to separate possibility from probability. Just because something could happen doesn't mean it will happen. And that distinction, getting my head around that distinction, changed everything for me. And this is a question I want you to reflect on. Put your hand on your heart and ask yourself very quietly this. How much of your life are you postponing because of a future that hasn't happened? Take a minute to think about that. How much of your life are you postponing because of a future that hasn't happened? It's natural to think of all different scenarios about what could go wrong, what could happen, but what would you do differently if fear wasn't making the decisions? Maybe you'd apply for that promotion, book the holiday, start the business, join the gym, write the book, read the book, start the business, say yes to something exciting. The goal isn't to eliminate fear completely. The goal is to stop giving fear the steering wheel, stop giving it that power. And so I want to leave you with this. Fear of recurrence is something that many cancer survivors experience, but you don't have to carry that alone. You don't have to spend years waiting for life to begin again. You deserve support, you deserve confidence, and you deserve a future that feels bigger than your fears. So if this episode resonated with you and you would like support rebuilding your confidence and creating a life beyond cancer, I'd love to help you. Book a free confidence clarity call using the link in the show notes, and together we can explore creating a path. We can look at what's keeping you stuck and we can create a path forward that feels calm, confident and achievable. Thank you so much for listening, as always. Thank you for listening to Confidence After Cancer. And until next time, please remember you are stronger than you think. You are more capable than you realise. And your future is still waiting for you. Take care, stay safe and stay safe. Bye-bye.